All right. Thank you so much for watching today. My name is Justin Richards, and this is my social media presentation. About 13 weeks ago, I was made the social media marketing director for a company called Buoy Bags. This presentation will walk you through my experience over the last 13 weeks, as well as some of the lessons that I learned over those 13 weeks. So let's go ahead and get started here at the beginning. The chief media officer of the company gave me a few touch points to start with, and those really helped with formulating my goals for the future. So let's talk about some of those. Essentially, each week I'd be given a budget of $5,000, and that budget would be used to increase brand awareness, engagements with followers on various social media platforms, and then ultimately to increase our sales. Since we are a company, that would be sort of the main goal, is to grow the company. So first, I decided to start with some customer segments and really try to figure out who it was that we were going after. I'll be honest, at the beginning, I have felt the temptation to try to go after everyone, and realized very quickly that that just wouldn't be very productive or effective. So looking at the brand and even the name of the company, and especially the product itself, it's called Buoy Bags. It's not called Buoy Backpacks or Buoy Luggage. And to me, this name just felt a little bit more feminine, and so I decided to go more towards the female customer segment. Also, the product is definitely more of a high-end lifestyle brand, and so I decided to target the 20s, 20 mid to late 20s females as my main customer segment. So once I understood this, then the next step was to figure out what sort of platforms I should post on. And I realized very quickly that producing videos and any sort of video content would be really expensive, and so I decided just to not go that route at all. Since YouTube is primarily advertises with videos, I decided not to use YouTube as a platform for advertising. Also, LinkedIn tends to be a lot more concentrated by the male segment, and so since that really wasn't part of my target customer segment, I decided not to post on LinkedIn as well. That just left four. Snapchat was not included. It was not an option, but Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest I did decide to post to. I kept my posts very uniform across all four platforms, which may have been a mistake looking back, and I'll go a little bit more into that a little later on. But since I had figured out what platforms I wanted to post to, the next step was to consider what content I would post. There was a bunch of different options. Like I said, video is one of them. I figured out I didn't want to do that. I did post one video, I think, and didn't get a great response, and I didn't make a lot of money off of it. So I decided not to do that again. Primarily, actually a vast majority of my posts were photos accompanied by a caption, as you can see here. My main reason for this was that the photos were so cheap to produce that it would allow me to put a lot of money into promoting my posts. Looking back, I definitely could have done better, and it shows in some of the rankings. I did not rank super high, and I think I understand why. But again, I'll get into that a little bit later. But once I decided that I wanted to go with primarily the photos with captions, then the next step was just go with that and see what happened. So for many of the weeks, I did okay. I realized that Instagram was by far my best platform, and so I decided to increase my budget on promoting on Instagram, which helped a little, but there's definitely some more things that I could have done to make a bigger difference. And with that, I'd like to go into some of the lessons that I learned along the way. So first, really early on, I learned that the followers of brands, they like to follow those brands, but they don't like to spend a lot of time with each individual post. And I realized that being brief in my posts would help, and actually the data really supported that. I started out with a little bit longer posts, and then the shorter ones, even things like just a hashtag as the caption, seem to really do a lot better than the longer posts. So that was a good takeaway. The next one was probably one of the more important lessons that I learned, and maybe a little too late. It's the lesson of connecting with followers versus converting them, or getting them to actually buy the product. And my strategy was very, very heavy on the connection side. I didn't have a lot of call to action in my posts. It was more as if the brand was just a normal person trying to just connect with the general population, or at least a population of mid to late 20-year-old women. And it did really well with the platforms that support that. For example, Instagram seemed to be by far my best platform for that style of post. But the other platforms definitely suffered, especially Facebook and LinkedIn, or excuse me, not LinkedIn, Twitter, did not do very well with those style. And I think that's more because those platforms are meant to be more for just making discoveries in general. It's really convenient to find products, and you can buy them, directly click the link and it'll take you there. And people kind of expect a little bit more aggressive advertising style there. And then obviously in addition to that, they can connect more with people they actually know and their friends. And so they're looking more for the connections from their friends, and then also conversions from companies. On the flip side, Instagram is the opposite. People tend to go there more to make connections with people they don't know, celebrities or brands, and they want to see what that brand is like through those pictures. And so really that was a great takeaway. I like I said, I probably found that a little too late, but that led to the last lesson learned, which was to really analyze the cost of each post and try to see where it could have the most benefit. And I feel like I did fall short on that, being that I just sort of went after the cheapest option. I realized, I think it was like week 11, I decided to run an ad for New Year's, and it did that was by far the best post for the whole 13 weeks across all platforms. So I definitely could have experimented more there. Moving forward, I would definitely do that, and that would probably be the biggest takeaway for me. So thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing your feedback.